Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to a very special preview. Today, we are previewing Marigold Grand Destiny 2025, Marigold's signature show, their biggest show of the year, going live from Ryogoku Sumo Hall this Sunday, available on pay per view on Wrestle Universe. It is one of the most highly anticipated Joshi shows of the year, including a dream main event, a major world title match, and so much more. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. As always, I'm, of course, your host, as always, Scott E. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome to the preview. I know I've been saying we're going to get to previews. We're going to get to previews. Well, we've been waiting for a big show, and it doesn't really get much bigger than this one. I'm very excited to be talking about Marigold Grand Destiny here today. If you haven't seen on the channel already, go check it out. We started our coverage for this show this past week. Mayu Iwatani versus Io Sky, the Dream Destiny preview. If you want my full thoughts on that match, what that match means, what that match is all about, you can check out that video now. It is available. I appreciate all the support I've gotten talking about it, and I will continue to talk about it here today along with the remainder of the card. So thank you so much for the support on that. But like I said, today is about the show. Today is about the entire card, giving my thoughts, predictions, and so much more as we look ahead to what should be the latest ending of a chapter for Margot and the start of a new. The start of a new in so many ways, it feels like with this show. I couldn't be more excited. Like I said, big time Ryogoku show. Just kind of everything that you want for a major show. Feels like the card is built to really showcase the roster while also giving you some superb matches along the way. We'll break down match by match. I'll kind of give you what I'm most looking forward to and things like that as well. So hopefully you're ready. Hopefully you're raring to go. And hopefully you enjoy the ride as we preview Marigold Grand Destiny 2025. Let's get to it. And it all starts with none other than Kazuna Tanaka versus Shino, the opening match, the perfect opening match for this show. When this match was announced as the opener, to me, I said, it's perfect. One of the true matches set up. It is generation versus generation. The daughters of former tag team partners, members of Argion, Yumi Fukawa, Michiko Omakai, they will watch their daughters go face to face and they'll be in their corners. That, of course, is Kazuna Tanaka versus Shino. I honestly, looking at the entire card, this is one of my most anticipated matches because if you've been following Marigold for any sort of time, especially in 2025, the best part about it has been young Marigold and the development of this incredible young crew that they have. And this match, the second generation showdown, is going to be the one to perfectly showcase that on this show. While parts of young Marigold go into major, major matches, this is young. This is young versus youth, everything you want about it. Shino, fellow super rookie, debuted this year and has only shined in her opportunities against Kazuna Tanaka, who I think is in a very interesting aspect of this company and a very interesting story for herself to continue building up, right? You're watching her almost be surpassed by certain rookies, right? Suri Yamaoka, Victoria Yuzuki, right? Shino now trying to surpass her in many ways. And I think for the story of Kazuna Tanaka, this match is very important. And it's very important for Shino too. Shino has mostly just seen success. Yes, she lost her debut match, but for the most part, she has an incredible winning record. And when they got to do their preview tag at Cork and Hall, it was Shino who not only won the match, but then planted Kazuna Tanaka afterward. This is truly all you could look for an opener. No, there doesn't need to be a title on the line. No, I don't even know if this leads to a title match for either of the two. But ultimately, I remember the words that Shino told me in an interview with her because I think honestly, there really is no better two to tell such a story in the ring, right? These two grew up together. These two spent so much time together when they were young, and now they get to tell their story. Now they get to show their story in the ring. I like to bring this quote up from time to time. When I asked her about Kazuna Tanaka and how they grew up together, Shino said, "We used to be friends, but now we are senior and junior wrestlers," which is a very strange feeling. But I'm very happy to have met Kazuna san in the same ring as a professional wrestler, and I want to fight a battle with the story that only we can tell. There is history. Our mothers wrestled together. Kazuna-san is an opponent I never want to lose to. I'd like to work with her in a tag team match someday, but I'd also like to fight against her in more singles matches as well. So now, for the first time, they get to have a showdown one on one. For Kazuna, this can mean so much. It can mean a catapult into the next stage, right? We know the struggles of Kazuna over the past year, right? That injuries from last year and trying to build herself back up. For Shino, it's been success after success as a 16-year-old super rookie. You present this match, you present this opportunity for both of them to have a major, major moment. I think it's undeniable that both have incredibly bright futures, right? But for them, with their mothers in their corner, this is as big of a match as they can have on any show, let alone out on a show at this point of their career. It's going to be terrific. It's gonna be a fantastic showcase of young Marigold. It's gonna be a fantastic showcase of a rivalry that should go on for years and years and years, and a story that should go on for years and years and years. Could Shino upset her senior in many ways, her former friend? Could Kazuna get back on the horse and build herself back up? That's the conversation we're having here. I don't think there is a guarantee to who wins this, but because she's the senior wrestler, because she's, full time, and because I think it would do a lot of good for her, I'm picking Kazuna Tanaka to get the win here. You can come back around down the line and continue to tell that story of Shino trying to overcome Kazuna. Maybe Kazuna is the one wrestler because of their relationship, because of the that Shino can't overcome. And I think that's a fantastic story to start right here on this show. So I'm picking Kazuna, and I can't wait for this match. It's going to be one hell of an opener. Next up, we have the Gauntlet Tag Match. Your teams are as followed. You have Nao Ishikawa and Hummingbird, Yoda and Arena Yamanaka, Yuki Minami and Nagisa Tachibana, Kamo Minami and Yuki Yamazaki. Shoko Kashino will make her official debut in the company. She will be teaming with a TBA wrestler. And then you have, of course, Nagisa Nozaki and Rhea Seto. I would utilize this match to build up the next tag team contender. You know, we have a twin star match later in the night between Magenta and Darkness Revolution. You look at this field here, there's a lot of wrestlers who are hungry to take that next step, hungry to prove themselves. I think there's multiple good combos, and I think the match kinda comes down to me to the Yoda Arena combo, Nozaki and Ryoseto combo, and the Kamomo and Yuki Yamazaki combo. Do you want to continue showcasing young Marigold with a massive win here? Two of these teams can do that. Or do you have the team of Chanyo and Arena Yamanaka, a duo that has been such a great addition to Marigold while not being full-time roster members, they are continuously a great aspect of this company. Have them be the strong duo to walk out of this and get a big tag title match. I think that's a conversation worth having. And then, of course, you have Shoko Kashino? Could her partner be someone shocking? Could her partner be someone that gives her a lift and maybe helps her get a first big win? I think those are the questions at hand, but ultimately for me, when I saw this match announced, I said Chanyona and Arena, they make all the sense in the world. I think there's fun of Komomo and Yuka, especially kind of getting some upset wins along the way, and maybe being the final two before Chanyota and Arena run through them. But I think that's an interesting conversation, interesting mindset to have. But use this match to create tag challengers. Use this match to create the next step in the Twin Stars. I've missed the Twin Stars being a consistent part of this company. I feel like this match, this show is going to get that back on track. So let's do that. Give me Chanyota, give me Arena as the winners. I want more of them together. I want more of them sharing the same ring. And honestly, I just want more of them in Marigold. I think they've been such awesome additions. Then we have Megaton versus M. It's hard to do these predictions when we don't know the opponent. And we have two of those matches. We have Megaton getting a big time singles match in Ryogoku Sumo Hall. Against who? I don't know. Now, the way to dissect such a match is to look at who the opponent is, to look at who Megaton is as a wrestler. This is a comedic styled based wrestler. So could we go down the comedic route in various different ways of a devastating opponent that runs through Megaton? Sure, I think that's possible. Could we go through a fellow comedic wrestler? Don't want to rule that out either. There are various ways to go, but the easiest way to preview this match is to say Megaton's not winning. That is essentially the basis of my preview here, because I think whatever this is, it's going to be the comedic flow of the show, right? You have one match to change after a gauntlet that takes some time and after a very personal second generation clash, you bring this into change up the tone a little bit before you go into some serious matches after. Whatever the opponent is, Sakura Hirota is kind of one that pops into mind. Um, if we're going with the M, like there's some out there choices. Hibiscus Me, which is a crazy one. I don't even know if she still wrestles. Um, Ultimately, there's options to be had. There's options to have some fun with this, and maybe it's just someone from left field that's unimaginable. Whatever it may be, it'll be a fun little lull in the action to make you laugh a few. So that's really all you can ask for. So honestly, I'm just happy for Megaton. If you followed her story, if you followed like things that Fuka said about her upbringing through actress and to get to hear and so on and so forth. It's really cool for her to, have this moment, win or lose. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at this match as a whole. And then, of course, we have the other mystery match. I think they're going to be, the opposites, right? In one, you're going to have the comedic match, and then here you're going to have the serious match. And this is a very big moment for Chika Goto. Things change, right? And in pro wrestling, things always change, and you have to pivot. You have to be ready for whatever that may be. Chika Goto went from teaming with Koki Mari, very likely on this show, as Twin Tower, a returning Twin Tower, to face Magenta and maybe even win those Twin Star championships. Instead, now with Koki injured and wishing her back as fast as she can, Gochika has her chance. Gochika has her chance to be in a showcase match, in a very serious match versus S. She has said it's a big match. She has said, this is the serious I'm going to lock in. You want a big surprise here. Especially if you go the comedic route for Megaton. And for Chika Goto, you want her to have a big opportunity and a big performance here. Chika Goto is someone who continuously starts raising the bar just a little for herself each and every match, right? Her match against Mai Sakurai for the United National Championship is one of the more underrated matches on the Marigold calendar this year. Um, she's had opportunity after opportunity. She's taken the opportunities and run with it. In many ways, some could see this as a bummer because she may not be walking out with a championship, but for me, it is now a showcase match. It is a showcase match against someone who is going to be an awesome opponent, I'm sure, a exciting opponent, I'm sure, and one that is going to make Chika Goto have to dig down and fight. That's what's so exciting to me. I've seen the people tossed around, the ideas of who it could be. You know, the one option that's been tossed around that it really excites me, but we'll see if that plays out. Ultimately, for me, the celebration of this match, the preview of this match is for Go Chica. It's a massive moment. It is what you want to see for her. It is what you want for her in a chance to shine once again. I think Go Chica has a big 2026 ahead of her. I really do. I think gold should be in her future. I think big matches and big opportunities are in her future. And I feel like this is the true start of, okay, you know what? Yeah, maybe Twin Tower can go win the tag belts eventually. But for her, this is a big step. This is the next step. Prove yourself in this kind of match, in this kind of situation, and you're going to go far. And Go Chica is someone ready to go far. So I can't wait for this one. I can't wait for the reveal and the match itself and Go Chica to likely be an underdog against whoever it may be. That's where she thrives the most. And I just hope she has an incredible performance. I'm picking the mystery opponent much though, like I picked for Megaton. So we'll see how it goes when we get there. I love the mystery things. I'll just say that. I think the mystery adds a nice mystique to it going into the show. You're already, if you're watching the show, you're already buying the show if you're going to watch it. Plain and simple. Having a mystery, having some fun back to back is a unique way of going about it, but it's a fun way of going about it. And for Go Chica, the way she's able to sell reactions and sell really the lead up to this match, it's made it a lot of fun. So, like I said, can't wait for this one. Can't wait for Go Chica to shine. And I think she's gonna do just that. So that's my preview. I don't see her winning, but you can gain a lot in defeat, and she has done that time and time again throughout her run here in Marigold. Now we're on to the championship matches. Twin Star Championship, Riko Kawahara and Maria take on Misa Matsui and Chiaki of Darkness Revolution. There's so many different sides to attack this from, I think. There is the side of, well, of course, this was going to be Twin Tower. Now it's not. Instead, Misa Matsui and Chiaki step into the opportunity, and they step into the opportunity against a Magenta duo that has not been around much, right? They have not been around much to defend the belts. I think they've defended them once since they won them, which is a bummer, not because I think Magenta is bad. I think Magenta is excellent. And obviously they've been in these new heel gimmicks, so it's been a little bit different. But it's been a bummer because the Twin Star belts, for my money, were the belts of Marigold's first year. From Mirai Saku to Nanai and Seiri, like those two runs specifically really raised those belts up and made you want to check them out each and every time they had them. Since Magenta's taken them, it's been a slow burn of not, things just maybe not working out and not being able to challenge. They're the outsiders, they're holding them hostage. But now there's a chance to bring them back into the fold on a team that does excite me. I know for some, they may have wanted other teams, but for me, knowing who Misa Matsui is, Misa Matsui has been the most underrated wrestler in Marigold since she's joined. Since, she was part of the actress girls group that came over. I think undeniably to the general public, Misa Matsui is the most underrated wrestler. She's still so young. She's so talented. there's a reason when people step in the ring with her, they often have some of their best matches. You know, when you watch Misa Matsui challenge Victoria Yuzuki for the Superfly and Mayu for the Superfly and Mai Sakurai for the United National, they're among the best matches of each of those reigns. And now Matsui can lead a match with Chiaki, who I do think has been making strides of her own. I know a lot of people don't always give Chiaki her credit, but I do think there has been something there for Chiaki, and she's been finding her way. And especially in tag team action, she's already a former Twin Star champion. That can be forgotten. Her and Nozaki beat Mirai Saku last year for the belts. You know, so this is a big opportunity for her to get a second shot and to be, you know, kind of the powerhouse of this duo against a magenta duo that, you know, has a very intriguing story. Funny enough, you know, Twin Tower, you know, they were just going to be the perfect like babyface. We're going to take the belts back team. But now there's a story here. Misa Matsui and Riko Kawahara have history dating back to Actress. And Chiaki and Maria, as we saw in the Dreamstar Grand Prix on that final night, they seem to have created something as well, right? That was an odd but exciting little story that they've created with each other. You know, Chiaki might be in love with Maria, and Maria, you know, welcomed the idea before dropping her on her head and panning her. But the idea of all that is there's something here, there's something to invest to. And I think when you look at it, Misa Matsui for one night only getting back into the babyface role, getting back into the babyface role is trying to win back those belts is super exciting. Yeah, they're probably still going to cheat their Darkness Revolution, but they're Marigold. They're representing Marigold in this match. And I do think there is that aspect there that will really raise this matchup. I don't expect it to be the match of the night or anything, but I do expect it to be a solid tag match. And it's a different match from what is remaining on this card. You know, from this point forward, it is big time singles match after big time singles match after big time singles match. So I'm very excited for this. I'm very pumped for what this match can be. And I'm excited to see Misa Matsui and Chiaki bring back the Twin Star belts and hopefully start defending them a lot. I think that these two can be a really fun tag team, especially against babyface tag teams. You know, them against Celine Flora, them against Yuzuki and Utami. Some sort of young Marigold combo would be really cool as well. Maybe find Suri Yamaoka partner. Um, Mai Sakurai, surely, maybe Mai Sakurai and Shino. Uh, there's a lot of possibilities, and then eventually, you know, hopefully Twin Tower when Koki comes back. So there's a lot of possibilities. Let's get the belts back and let's have some fun with it. So yeah, I'm picking Misa, I'm picking Chiaki to get the win and win the Twin Star championships. That's wrestling indeed. That's wrestling indeed. We have Sari Yamaoka going one on one with Chihiro Hashimoto. This match might be one of my more anticipated matches of this year because this is the ultimate challenge. This is the ultimate challenge for Sari Yamaoka, the wrestler that I believe to be the rookie of the year. She has been simply sensational. If you listen to literally any of my videos that involve Sari Yamaoka, I am talking her up because simply put, she is one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet today. And she steps in there with Chihiro Hashimoto, a woman who is as tall a mountain to climb as any. It is a wrestler who gives you no space to breathe. It is a wrestler who is an ultimate challenge. It is a wrestler that does not give you much hope in a match. And yet, who is so fantastic at creating hope? To me, that is Suri Yamaoka. And who is so fantastic at selling before finding that burst, finding that adrenaline, It is Suri Yamaoka. We have seen her in the major shows this year have her debut match against Mariah, which I really enjoyed, have an awesome match with Takumi Iroha at Shine Forever, have one of the breakthrough matches early in the Dream Star against Mayu Iwatani before following that up with a very solid title challenge at Grand Destiny. She had the great match with Nanai Takahashi as well on Nanai's retirement road. And now she faces Chihiro Hashimoto. This is the best Suri Yamaoka is ever going to be. Not ever going to be. She's going to only keep getting better, but has ever been. And think of how good she was in all those matches. This is someone who I asked her, and she's been very open about, who have you studied when finding your own style and way in the ring? She said, I was really impressed by the professional wrestling of Chihiro Hashimoto, who used to be an amateur wrestler. And I watched a lot of videos of her to study. That hasn't changed. If Suri Yamaoka sets her sights on becoming a wrestler like Chihiro Hashimoto with insane athleticism like Big Hash, with insane explosiveness like Big Hash, she's going to be a special wrestler for years to come. Chihiro Hashimoto has been one of the best wrestlers of the year in 2025. Chihiro Hashimoto has been one of the best wrestlers on the planet for years now. And in this match isn't going to be for the faint of heart. This match isn't going to be a match where Suriyami Oka is winning, but this is a match where she is going to look to try and prove something. Having a trial series against the aces of the scene is about as good as it gets. Suriyami Oka is the only wrestler as of this preview to pin Mayu Iwatani in Marigold. She is a super rookie for a reason. You watch any match she has, she takes another step and another step and another step. And now she's going to step in there with Hashimoto. Hashimoto is going to teach her so much in this match, even if it is pure destruction. But it's going to be those moments of hope, those small but meaningful moments of hope that are going to make this match so freaking good. Hashimoto is going to do everything to destroy her. But Suriyami Oka is going to have the heart. Suriyami Oka is going to have the explosiveness to create excitement. And if Yamaoka is able to get that Aoki clutch on Hashimoto at any point in this match, it is going to be the near fall of the night. That's how special this match can be. And I think that's how special this match will be. Can't wait for this one. Had a chance to be Suriyami Oka's best singles match to date, and it is as tall of a test as there is. Hashimoto's winning it. I don't think that's much of a question, but it's about what does Suriyami Oka look like coming out of it, because that's wrestling, folks. The amateur stuff will be awesome. The explosiveness will be off the charts. It's going to be a match you want to check out. To me, it's the rookie of the year against one of, if not arguably, the wrestler of the year. That's the type of level this match is. That's what you want to see. I can't wait. When you're in those conversations, all eyes on it. It's one of the most exciting matches on the entire card, and for me, one of the most exciting matches of the year. Now we get to the United National Championship match. Mai Sakurai defends against Victoria Yuzuki. Mai Sakurai's United National Championship run has been the most successful championship reign we have seen in Marigold thus far. She has been the standard, the definition of a great champion. She has defended time and time again. She has stepped up to anyone and everyone that stands in her way and has shined with this championship. To think where we were, hell, even at Summer Destiny just over a year ago, and thinking about Mai Sakurai at the time, I still don't think anyone was convinced this was going to be her reality, right? It's that Julia's final true singles match before leaving for WWE that really opened people's eyes. And for Mai Sakurai, It seemingly was the step in the right direction. It was seemingly the one that opened her own. Since then, she has confidently reigned as United National Champion, winning the belt at First Dream earlier this year against Miku Aono, who is, of course, in your world title match, right? Then she successfully defended against Nagisa Nozaki, Chen Yoda, Arina Yamanaka, Misa Matsui, Chika Goto, and most recently in July, Riko Kawahata. It's been a run that has raised the stock of my Sakurai and that has raised the stock of the United National Championship. She's been a fantastic champion, but Victoria Zuki is ready. This is a star in the making. Victoria Zuki has been undoubtedly fantastic. Victoria, listen. I know for some people she's not their cup of tea. Well, for me, she is. She has been one of my favorite wrestlers of the year, one of the best wrestlers of the year to me. Her performance on the final night of the Dream Star, to me, further proved why she is truly so special. That match with Mayu Iwatani, and then just a few minutes later, going into that final with Miku Aono. You can't ask many wrestlers who haven't even hit their second anniversary yet to do that. And yet, for her, for Victoria Yuzuki, that's part of the plan. That's part of who she is. That's what she is ultimately. This is a wrestler born to be great. This is a wrestler that is working her way to be great. And this is a wrestler, the first wrestler of Young Marigold, that you can see this company going full steam ahead with, and rightfully so. Victoria Yuzuki has been Superfly champion. She has promised to be the first Grand Slam champion. She has promised to be the ace of this company. Well, this is the right step. We talk about, I talk about a lot the Suri Yamaokas and the Shinos and the excitement that comes with those two super rookies. Well, Victoria Yuzuki is just 20 years old. Victoria Yuzuki celebrates her second anniversary. Let me get the official date. Victoria Yuzuki celebrates her official anniversary on November 17th. That will be 2 years in the business as a professional. And she is going to be United National Champion by that time. That is my belief. I think Victoria Yuzuki makes all the sense in the world for Marigold to go full force ahead with. She is a star that you have seen multiple Japanese magazines and outlets praise and really understand what a superstar she is in the making. And in my opinion, this show, Grand Destiny, is the closing of just the latest chapter. Right? We talk about this a lot. I think when it comes to wrestling promotions, right, is that major shows can serve as a closing of a chapter and the beginning of a new. I said at the very beginning. And for me, you know, having the former Stardom wrestlers, Tommy Hashishita and Mai Sakurai, as defending champions against two wrestlers that, for many, are Marigold wrestlers, I think is kind of the perfect shift to that next chapter. The perfect shift to where we're going. And to me, I think going full force Victoria Yuzuki creates so many incredible matchups, right? Victoria Yuzuki versus Rhea Seto's a lock if she wins this title. Victoria Yuzuki versus Suri Yamaoka just jumps off the page, right? Really, Victoria Yuzuki versus most of, if not all of Young Marigold already. And that's not including the veterans. That's not even including Misa Matsui. That's not including Natsumi Shozuki, who will be back soon, or the Chanyotas, or the like there's so much opportunity here, and there's opportunity that makes all the sense in the world. My Sakurai has been a fantastic champion. I think my Sakurai is and can be a world champion in this company. And for me, with the idea of who's next to that world title, my Sakurai is the perfect big time bump in the road for such a wrestler like that. So for me, this serves as two accomplishments. And one, it moves Mai Sakurai up to the world title to the main event scene, and on the other, it crowns Victoria Azuki United National Champion. You're next, right? That is the long time mountain to climb in a promotion like this, you know? It's time. It's time. Victoria Azuki is winning that United National Championship. She's going to be the one to beat Mai Sakurai, and I'm saying it is right here to do that. I can't wait for the match. Cannot wait for this match. I think these two are going to go out there with something to prove. Third match on the show, third match on the card. They're not sandwiched in between that and the main event. They have something to prove. They're going to go out there and shine, and I think they're going to make the United National Championship a belt that everyone that's tuning in specifically for a very special match on the show, it's going to prove that this is a title you need to follow if you are a Joshi fan, a wrestling fan. Victoria Azuki is going to make a lot of fans on this show. But speaking of trying to steal the show, your Marigold World Championship match. It goes without saying, when you are not in the main event, but you are the world title match, there has to be some sort of prove it in your mind. There has to be some sort of, we have to show why we should be the main event. And for Utami Hayashishita, this is not new territory for her. This is territory she has dealt with many, many times in her career as world champion. And in all those occasions, she has not only rose to the occasion, but had a splendid, if not spectacular, match along the way. I think Utami Hayashishita's reign has really been one of two halves. I think she's done some of her best work in quite some time over the past number of months. I think the Takumi match woke her up to remember who the hell she is, and that is one of the best wrestlers on the planet when she's going. And at the same time, I think she has seen matchups and opportunities that have been so fantastic for her. That Mayu Iwatani match to me is one of the best matches in Marigold's history. It is one of my favorite tournament. It's probably still my favorite tournament match of the entire year. The match, the work with Mio Momono in that marvelous match, like Utami is locked in. Utami is going to go into this match as the right champion for this moment. I want to stress that she is absolutely the right champion for this moment because she is, like I said with my Sakurai, in many lights, the former Stardom wrestler, but also a year ago when we were last at Ryogoku for Marigold, she was the one facing Io Sky. And now she's the world champion. She's built herself up. She's built herself up as someone that it's hard to take down. And she's going against your Dream Star Grand Prix winner, the wrestler that I think out of literally any promotion in the world, the most ready to be world champion, and that is Miku Aono. Miku Aono has been, I think, the biggest success story of Marigold to this point. She has made so many fans. I know, and I'm gonna give full respect to the actress girls fans for years and years that were saying Miku Aono is a wrestler of the year caliber wrestler when she was going strong there. And she's just carried that over. If you've watched Miku Aono's journey from the moment she stepped into Marigold to now, it has been continuation of giving her the ball and watching her run with it. Was she always supposed to be the first United National Champion? I don't know, because it sure felt like at the time Mariah or Bozilla were the picks. Everyone was picking them. I know I did, but she won. She proved, with her popularity and her excellence in the ring, she's the one that was ready to be the inaugural United National Champion. She has a great solid reign that ends in the awesome match with Mai Sakurai at First Stream. And then from there, it's okay, what's next for Miku Aono? I think many believe that, eventually she can be world champion, but, her reign wasn't maybe as super duper strong, but again, it was along with the learning curves of the promotion and things like that. It was a good reign, but maybe not to the highest of levels. So what's next? What's the next prove it point for someone so fantastic, so talented, so popular like Miku Ano? How about oh, that's right. How about you're the retirement match for Nanai Takahashi? You are the main event for our first anniversary show, Shine Forever. How about that? And Miku Ano has one of the best matches of the year, one of the best retirement matches you'll ever see, an unbelievable main event and an unbelievable performance by Miku Ano. It was at that moment that I think many, myself included, like, that's your Dream Star winner. That's your next world. How could it not be? The only curveball would have been like if Mayu was winning, right? But no, the work that Miku's put in, the time that Miku's put in, she feels like the top dog, right? And people talk about the ace so many times when it came to Margot, especially in the first year. I think she really captures that ace feel, that true ace feel of Marigold. And now she heads into the biggest match of her career after winning the Dream Star Grand Prix, having a great performance, by the way, from start to finish. Great match with Mai Sakurai. Really strong final with Victoria Zuki. And everyone was like, yep, that was the person to win. Absolutely. And now she enters this match, and I think that's the same feeling. That she is the person to win. You don't have you don't rise up the ranks to the first United National Champion. You don't rise up the ranks to be the Nai Takahashi's retirement opponent. You don't rise up the ranks to be the second ever Dream Star winner and not be trusted to take the ball and run with it. Miku Ano is, like I said, as ready as anyone to be world champion. And when you see that belt, when you see the Marigold World Championship, it is built for Miku Ano. Truly, truly. I've seen concern for people. She did the waterfall thing, which is not good luck in pro wrestling. We've seen many, many defeats because of that. Shout out Hiroki Goto as the famous one of that. But why can't Miku Ano be the one to turn that page and say, no, I'm going to win. I'm going to be your ace. I am the one that represents Marigold. I am Marigold. She should take that. She should take the I am Marigold thing. I think that'd be sick. Kind of like Go Shiozaki, the I am Noah thing. Well, that didn't. He left Noah. But you get my point. I am Marigold. I represent Marigold. I am its world champion. That is what I think this show needs to say. And I think that Miku Ano as your world champion is 100% the right move. I continuously sit here and I think, like, what is the one result that needs to happen on this show? Like, if Yuzuki lost, I wouldn't bat an eye because I think she could come back around and win it. Saraya Mioka losing is not a bad thing. It's the right thing. Hell, Mayu Iwatani losing to EO is nothing I'm going to bat my eyes at because we're just happy to have that match. But to me, the one result that needs to happen on this show is Miku Ano walking out as world champion. That is no shot at Utami. I love Utami. I think Utami could truly have a reign continued here. There are opponents out there that make so much sense for her. But there has not been someone this ready to be world champion that I've seen in a very long time. And that's all I need to say to tell you why Miku Ano needs to walk out of this show as your world champion. I'm so ready for her to win. I'm so ready for this match. I think they are going to go out there and absolutely crush it. Absolutely crush it. They have had so many previews through the past year, let alone recently, that have told you that these two have fantastic chemistry. And I think there is a story to tell of Utami failing, and there's a story to tell of Miku Aono succeeding. One that should bring them back to each other somewhere down the road. Until then, though, let's have this match. Let's celebrate with this match. Miku Aono, your new Marigold World Champion. She is the one. I really want her to say I am Marigold when it's over. She's the one that ended Nanae Takahashi's career. She ended Passion. Or maybe she's continuing Passion, like Suriyami Oka. I don't know. You get my point. This is a chance to stake the claim as I am the ace. I am the true ace. I am Marigold's ace. I am Marigold. I am Miku Aono. I am your world champion. Let's freaking do it. Like I said, if you're tuning into the show, if you're watching this preview and you're like, oh, let me learn about everything else that's not Mayu versus Io, this is the match and this is the wrestler. There's so many amazing wrestlers, but this is the wrestler that feels like the main story moving forward. You know, I could show pure favoritism for the Suriyami Okas all day long, and I pretty much did. But hopefully, what you get from this is you keep an eye on Miku Aono. She's the one. She's the one. I hope this match is as fantastic as I expect it to be. Hell, I hope they steal the show because it's going to be a tough show to steal when your main event, of course, is none other than the Dream Destiny. As Rossi Ogawa said on Twitter, perhaps for the final time, is Mayu Iwatani versus Io Sky. The eighth time, Mayu is 2-3-2 against Io. For the final time, perhaps, Thunder Rock faces off one-on-one. I did the whole video for it if you haven't checked it out. Mayu Iwatani versus Io Sky, the Dream Destiny preview. You want my full thoughts on that match? It is over 40 minutes. I did over 40 minutes talking about that match because of how much this means to me. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take away a preview from you here. That's why I'm here after all. This match, it doesn't matter who wins because at the end of the day, we win. We win. Anyone talking down this match is simply wrong. This match is the match. When Mayu left Stardom to come to Marigold, this was the dream, this was the hope, and that's why it's called the Dream Destiny. If this is indeed the final time these two ever go one-on-one, they are going to do everything in their power to make it as memorable of a match as possible. They are each other's greatest rivals. These two I hold at high acclaim. If you were to ask me who are the two greatest wrestlers of all time, they're probably 1 and 2 in my heart. I don't, it's a debate that honestly, it is a subjective debate. But in terms of what these two have meant to Joshi wrestling, what these two have meant to pro wrestling, what these two have meant to me, like to get selfish here for a second, I am not doing this video. I am not doing any of this content without these two wrestlers. These two saved me from falling out of professional wrestling to a point where Joshi wrestling is my wrestling, like many of you, your wrestling as well. This is one of the most storied rivalries in Joshi. This is one of the most storied combinations in Joshi. And for the first time, when they face off, it is going to be Mayu Iwatani at her very best. When they last faced off in 2018, but specifically 2017, in the final match of that big trilogy they had, Mayu was somehow, while fantastic, a fraction of what she's become. And in many ways, as I talked about in the video that you should all go check out, it's probably linked up here somewhere to check it out, or it already was. But in that video, I talked about this is in terms of physical peak and what I've seen her do, what I saw her do last year against Utami, this is debatably as good as Io has been. Io, obviously, her incredible stardom peak is undeniable, but the last time they faced off, Io was very banged up, and now they head into this match. Yes, Mayu's dealing with the ankles, but I don't know. I think this is just a match where they're just gonna leave it all out there. It is gonna be emotional. It is going to be special. It is going to be everything that is fitting of the term "the dream destiny." It is a main event that the whole world is going to watch. It is a main event that the whole world needs to see. The fact that I could sit here and preview this not for the first time, but twice is surreal to me. But that's the beauty of pro wrestling. That's the beauty of what Marigold can bring to the table. Mayu Iwatani versus Io Sky, the main event of this show, the main event of a card that I think is super strong, and the main event of a show, and truthfully the most anticipated match I've possibly had. I don't know if there's a match following this. Maybe like a Mayu Sari rematch. I think that would be really cool. But like in terms of dream matches, this is it. Like, yes, it's happened before, but many times it never felt like it happened again. If this is it, if this is the last time, I am going to enjoy every second, every minute, every move, every moment. And I hope you do too. In terms of who wins, I'm gonna go with EO. Um, in many ways, I think it's a fitting story to, Mayu said it best, the only person she's all ever chasing is EO. There's something beautiful about continuing to chase EO. She's beaten her before. So that's why this isn't a big deal who wins and loses. It's gonna be a special moment in that ring on Sunday. It's gonna be a special match. I can't wait. Hopefully you can't either. I think Io's gonna win. If Mayu wins, that's awesome. I'm just gonna be emotional the whole time. I'm already emotional now. That's the beauty of pro wrestling, folks. If you don't feel this way watching pro wrestling, I'm sorry. I do. Many others do. This show, this match, it's gonna rule. Like I said, you want more thoughts on this match? Go over the preview, Dream Destiny preview on the channel in full force. Please go check it out. But that's it for me. That's it for me. That is it for me this week. In terms of a review, for those wondering who maybe stuck around to the end, wondering what's the review? Is it going to be a live review? Right now, probably not. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a live review set for Sunday. Now, keep tabs on my social media at Scott Eat Wrestling on Twitter, on Blue Sky. Things could change. I could do a live review sometime Sunday. If there's going to be a live review, it's going to be Sunday. If not, I will have a review that goes up on Monday, full review that I'll record that night. I'm yet to decide if I have some guest possibilities, maybe we'll make it a live review. But my weekend is very, very busy. So stay tuned on that. But that's kind of what to expect. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll get the notification. Hey, live show happening this week on Sunday. If not, the review will be up sometime on Monday morning, Monday afternoon in full force. Everything you need, everything you want to hear. So keep an eye out for that. But like I said, that's it for me. Enjoy the show this weekend, folks. It's on Wrestle Universe, the best streaming service in all of wrestling. It is going to be a very special show from start to finish. I truly, truly believe that. I think, yeah, it's going to be a good show. Hell, I think it's going to be a great show. I think it has show of the year potential. I really do. I really do. So, Marigold Grand Destiny 2025 preview is over. Marigold Grand Destiny 2025 is this Sunday. Check it out. Ryogoku Sumo Hall. It's not going to be a show you want to miss. You're going to want to check it out. Trust me. So thank you everyone for listening. Hopefully this review got you up to date on things going on in the world of Marigold that aren't Mayu versus EO. Hopefully I taught you something along the way, and hopefully you enjoyed this type of review that we'll be doing for major shows on the Joshi scene. In terms of what's next content wise, I'm planning a Joshi Weekly sometime, hopefully next week. But as you know, we will definitely have the review up either Sunday live or Monday recorded, one of the two. Um, we'll see how life works out. And then we have plenty of ideas post Grand Destiny. So watch and wait for all of those. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for all the support. Until next time, everyone, so long. See you later. Bye bye.